Hi, everyone. Welcome to our meeting. Dated the 26th of June, Wednesday, and it is 1:41 p.m. Meeting is called to order. All right, so let's have a roll call. Mandy Gebler.
I'm here. Sorry, I was talking on mute.
That's okay. Tarang Jain. Think is absent. Carolyn Kidd. I'm here. Marcelo Pino. Angelica Sanchez.
Present.
And Jean Toner.
Here.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, may I have a volunteer to read the mission statement? Anyone wants to volunteer?
I'd be happy to.
All right, go right ahead.
All right. So our mission statement is a commission to foster support, respect, awareness, and appreciation of diversity among all citizens of Flagstaff.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Sanchez. And may I have a volunteer to read the land acknowledgement?
I'd be happy to, since I'm already off mute.
Go right ahead.
All right. The Commission on Diversity Awareness humbly acknowledges the ancestral homelands of this area's Indigenous nations and original stewards. These lands, still inhabited by Native descendants, border mountains sacred to Indigenous peoples. We honor them, their legacies, their traditions, and their continued contributions. We celebrate their past, present, and future generations who will forever know this place as home.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Sanchez. All right, so let's move to item number 4, upcoming opportunities and announcements. Do we have any upcoming opportunities and announcements? Okay, so at this time, let's move to item number 5, public comment. The Commission cannot act upon items presented during the public participation portion of the agenda. Individual Commission members may ask questions of the public, but are prohibited by open meeting law from discussing or considering the item among themselves until the item is officially placed on the agenda. Each public comment or presentation will be limited to 5 minutes. So now I'm opening up the floor for any public comment. Chris, are you seeing any hands or anyone for public comment?
I do not.
Okay, there being no public comment, we can just go ahead now to move on to item number 6, approval of minutes. So we have 2 sets of minutes to approve. One dated April the 17th and the other one May the 15th. So I'm going to give the commissioners a chance if everybody has seen the minutes, both minutes, or anybody wants a chance to read them or browse them, say so. If not, I want to open the floor for a motion to approve minutes dated April 17th, 2024.
So moved.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any against? Any abstain? Being none, motion carried for the approval of the minutes for April 17, 2024. Let's also go ahead and may I have a motion for the approval of the minutes from May 15th, 2024. All, go ahead.
I will so move again.
Do you have a second?
Commissioner
I will
Sanchez.
second again.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstain? Okay, motion carry for approval of minutes May 15, 2024. All right, we're going to move to item number 7, proclamation. Chris, do we have any emails or anything on proclamations? I don't have anything on my side.
We actually have it set. 7A is actually to discuss filling the vacancy of the vice chair. Proclamations is after that.
Oh, actually, sorry, I have it as number 7 on mine.
7B, 7A is fill vacancy vice chair. We moved things around just very
Okay.
slightly from
Okay.
the draft agenda that was sent out about a week ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only change.
All right. Okay.
We flipped those two.
All right. So let's go ahead and talk about the vacancy to fill the vice chair vacancy. So Chris, do you have any applications or?
So there are no applications for vice chair. Vice chair is chosen from one of the existing members. I'll note that the term will expire at the end of August. So really it's only
Okay.
for probably 2 more meetings. This person will serve as the vice chair. They are welcome to run again if they would like to continue being the vice chair for the next term, as long as you're not one of the commissioners that is terming out this fall. I'll note as well that when I talked to Commissioner Pino about this, knowing that she'd be out of away from this meeting, she said it was fine to go ahead without her. I did not talk to Commissioner Jean about his feelings in the matter. So if the commission likes, we can push this back a month. But again, it is only for a short period of time, for a few months, to fill the remainder of the term from Commissioner Jarvis when she left last month, or in May last month.
All right. Okay. So do I have any volunteers or any nomination for vice chair of CODA?
If no one else will, this is Commissioner Gebler, I'll do it for the next couple meetings.
Great. Thank you. That is wonderful. Should we go ahead and vote on this? May I have a motion from someone?
I'm happy to move that Commissioner Gebler serve in the expiring, the vacancy for vice chair.
And I'll second. And I'll second that. Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Gebler and Commissioner Tona.
Welcome.
All right. So if I'm correct, because I'm looking at another agenda here, so I'm sorry. So is the next item the allegations on the cultural appropriation, or is it proclamations?
Proclamations. I just wanted to
Okay.
be clear. I was typing. Was there a vote just now? That was.
Yes.
There was. Okay. I just wanted to
Yes.
make sure I didn't miss it. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So on proclamations, this item we're looking to create a calendar that used to exist for this commission. There's been a few items the last few months that have gone to council for their own proclamations. Asian American Heritage Month, Pride Month, and Juneteenth were the last 3. So we're looking to create a ongoing calendar that we can use year after year to make sure that we know what's coming up, and that if we have any documents we want to revise or rewrite, we can do that well before that month comes up or that week comes up, and that way we can get it in front of council with lots of time. As I said, this I believe this calendar used to exist. I have not been able to locate an older copy of it, but we're looking to create that again so that we have it going forward. And Madam Chair, I think that there's a hand up from Commissioner Toner.
Go ahead, Commissioner Toner.
Hi, everybody. Yes, we did have a calendar, and I've still got it, and I will be happy to forward it to you, Chris, and Chair Kidd, and I'll do that this week.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Toner, because I was looking for the one we had before, but I couldn't find it. All right, thank you.
Commissioner Toner, do you know if there are any events on that calendar or dates on that calendar in the next month or maybe 6 weeks that we should know about to begin work on?
I think the next one is going to be Hispanic Heritage, and that is actually an interesting one because it's a mid-month instead of the beginning of a month. And just the whole thing we need to be alert to is that we have to vote on it an entire month before the proclamation is due to council because of the overlaps on our meeting schedules. So I'll just have that all together when I send you that list.
Okay, and is that for mid-July or mid-August? I apologize for my
I think that we would have to have it prepared in August, so it can be voted on, forwarded in September. It's actually in October.
Okay.
We just have to keep in mind, because of the dates, that we always have to have an overlap of a month for our voting.
Right. I'll note as well that the commission doesn't have to vote every single time. If there are no changes that you want to see through, the chair is able to do that. And we did that for at least one of the previous proclamations. It's always a plus to have it go through the commission, but it doesn't always have to come through this commission specifically for it to be read at council. It's good, but not 100% necessary.
But I noticed that there were some changes. But all the others that we did before, there was a little bit of change in them. So we always like to bring it back to, in case there are changes, because sometimes they have for the History Month or the Heritage Month, they have a theme for that year. And sometimes I think that needs to be changed on the proclamation, the theme for the year. Yeah.
Certainly, and we'll be on this calendar now so that we can submit it on, or place it on agendas with plenty of time for these discussions to happen well before these proclamations need to be issued.
And Commissioner Sanchez has a note there in the chat. There were changes requested last year and did not make it to the official one. Yeah. So I think we still want to take a look at it too, especially for the themes that have been changing each year. Okay, so
And
what do you go ahead?
I had my hand up,
Go ahead.
just piggyback on what Commissioner Sanchez said, is that that's another reason we have to have this lead time on the proclamations, because I don't remember why it didn't get into, but I do remember that the changes weren't approved in time or whatever. So we just need to be real conscious of our lead time. So any changes that are voted on by commissioners actually make it to the official proclamation. So I think that was another one of those lead time issues. So.
Okay.
Thank you. Chris, do you mind sharing the the minutes for, I'm sorry, not the minutes, the agenda, because I have the draft one
Certainly.
here and I just don't want to
Yeah, let me
mislead.
pull this up for you here. And these are the ones that were noticed. So here we go.
Thank you.
Right. Oh, hold on. What was I just looking at? I was looking at a different document.
Yeah, so that's the draft that I had.
Where did I have it? Was it open in here? No, it was not. I was just looking at it a second ago. Goodness gracious, that's peculiar. Well, okay.
Yeah. So
We've
that's the
done
one
both
I
of
was
those
reading
items.
from. Yeah, that's the one I was reading from. So I didn't know there was another one.
Well, I'm pretty sure I only had one open on my screen, and now it looks different than it did about 3 seconds ago. And I don't have an explanation for that. But in any case, we
Okay,
can move
so
on. Yeah, we can move
yeah.
on to 8B
Okay.
if we're ready to at least.
Yeah, so 8B, allegations of cultural appropriation at a council meeting. I know there was a letter circulated. I sent the letter to Chris. So Chris, you want to go ahead and take that part over?
I
did send a
can.
draft.
I can. Yeah, this draft was circulated to all members last week with the agenda packet that I sent out. It was also included on the notice of this meeting. And I wanted to note as well that on this particular item, our council liaison, Councilmember House, is not present today, but she asked City Manager Greg Clifton to sit in and share some comments on her behalf. So, Chairman Kidd, whenever you would like to cede the floor, I think that City Manager City Manager Clifton rather has something to share on this item as well.
Okay, sure thing. Is he here? I'm not seeing. Oh, yes, he is.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Oh, no apologies, Madam Chair. It is nice to meet you virtually,
Same
commissioners.
here.
Yes, thank you. And my name is Greg Clifton. I serve as your city manager. And yes, Councilmember House reached out to me some time ago and asked if I would sit in on her behalf, and I'm honored to do so. I'm in an awkward position of maybe paraphrasing what she conveyed to me. I could also do a shared screen, but I think I might just go ahead and give you the summary of her comments, and then I can paste in the chat column her specific, she had 3 specific suggested edits to the letter, and then you would have those in front of you. I think there's a way to enlarge what's in the chat column. We could walk through that in a minute, but if I may, Madam Chair, I'll just summarize her communication to me. And I'm kind of sort of aware of the issue. I've been tracking it with interest. I do not have the depth of knowledge and insight that the commission has, so please bear with me. Council member House, who had a conflict in a schedule conflict that was unavoidable, asked me to convey first that she is greatly appreciative to the commission for putting together a very thoughtful response to the complaint or concerns that were advanced to us by a citizen. She felt that the letter is well crafted and speaks to much of what was discussed in previous meetings. So she was greatly appreciative of that. And with that, I might attempt to, in the chat column, if you can see it, are 3 bulleted items. I apologize for the length of the text. This is coming right from Councilmember House. Her suggestions there. The first bullet is simply referencing council members that the celebration at the city council, she thought could be rephrased to say a council member suite's birthday celebration during the meeting. I think that one is a little bit, grammar style and preference. I don't think there are any substantive changes there.
Greg, if I can interrupt you for a second.
Yes, please. Yep.
It does not look like it's in the chat yet. Maybe you haven't hit the enter button or submitted
I
it.
apologize.
We don't
Let
see
me.
anything yet.
Yeah, that's me. Should be there now, and I apologize.
There we go.
Okay. Yes.
Is it there? Okay, perfect. I apologize. That was on my end. So the first bullet point I just summarized. The second one I think is also just grammar here, and that is to refer to Miranda as Councilmember Sweet. So 2 suggested edits there. I'm scrolling down the third bullet point, which is a little bit lengthy. I'm not going to read it, but it speaks to Councilmember House's. She does not have knowledge of Councilmember Sweet's heritage. Apparently, that what is stated here is that her stepfather is of Hawaiian descent, and but what is unclear is whether Councilmember Sweet intended to share with the celebration with the council in a more formal way. And I think a little follow-up is probably needed there with Councilmember Sweet so that this can be represented accurately. And or if you're able to read that, you can read it with much more detail than I was just able to articulate. With those 3 edits in mind, and the third one may be construed, I guess, as more of a comment than an edit. Again, Councilmember House was appreciative of the letter, thought it was well written. I don't mind sharing that. I read the letter and thought it was well written. I want to thank the commission for the thoughtfulness going into this, into the way the letter was drafted. So thank you for that. I think, Madam Chair, I will conclude there and be willing to entertain any comments or questions if I'm able.
Thank you so much, City Manager Clifton. Thank you so much for representing Commission Councilwoman House. Chris, are you able to pull that information from the chat and add it to the letter?
Yes, I can do that.
Wonderful. Great. So I want to open up the floor if any other commissioners has any comments on this, on the edits. I see a thumbs up from Commissioner Sanchez. Go ahead, Commissioner Tona.
I just want to reiterate, that I think it's a really excellent letter and balanced and all that. The only 2 things were the before in parentheses when I think you were looking for clarification on, do you see what I'm talking about? The before, I've lost the document now. Here it is.
Yes, it's on the, let's see, 1, 2. Yeah, so when I have, I put in question marks there because I was not sure, because we were not privy to the incident. It was not on the recording either. So these were question marks there for Councilwoman House to fill in, or if Chris can get that information from her. Because anytime I put the question marks, I was just we were not sure if it was before the meeting because we were not privy to that information.
Do we have that information now? Because that's the only thing really that needs, other than Councilwoman House's comments, it needs to be integrated as far as I can see. I think it was really, I really appreciate, especially that you grounded it in some of the literature and cited that.
I'm able to speak to that a little bit here, and I want to be careful not to get into any kind of speculation or anything, but the original letter we received from Ms. Davalos did pretty explicitly state her view that conduct continued into the council meeting. as you all know, I disseminated video of that council meeting and reviewed some of it myself. I can't say whether or not it did or whether the commission believes it did or not. I know there were some questions last month about exactly what it was referring to because some members reviewed the tape and were not able to locate what they thought she may have been referring to. So in that regard, Ms. Davalos, I think, would probably contend that before and during. I know that Councilman House would probably say that it was before, because I know there was an event before the recording began for that council meeting. So I think I will need guidance from the commission on whether you would like it to just stay before or if you'd like it to say before and during. I'll take whatever direction you give me, but I can't make that decision for myself in editing the letter.
Well, we can't make that decision either, and that is one of the reasons why we wanted City Manager Clifton. Are you able to help us out there? Because I want to believe you probably was there. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm happy to do so. I do have seats up front at the dais, and I recall this fairly vividly. The celebration did extend into the council meeting. I know specifically, and I believe it's referenced in the letter from Dr. Davalos, that there was a staff member who was displaying the some of the plastic flower lei, and doing so inappropriately, and that happened in the course of the meeting. So I think that's a fair statement to say that it extended into the meeting. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, City Manager Clifton. Any other commissioner wants to weigh in? And I see here, and Commissioner Sanchez have something here in the chat. Will or did Councilmember Sweet receive a copy so they can weigh in on the presentation? Weigh in on the letter. Oh,
yeah.
Yes, I was looking at. Oh, I'm so sorry, Chris.
No. Go ahead if you want to elaborate on that question. I can hold off.
Yeah, I was just thinking about bullet number 3, where making sure, we're presenting what happened correctly according to how council member Sweet, the intention and all of that behind it. And so I was just wondering if we were wanting to get, some feedback or let them weigh in on how they want that written out.
Thank you, Commissioner Sanchez. To my knowledge, Councilmember Sweet has not yet seen a copy of this letter. I would imagine that she's aware of this discussion. My understanding is that the purpose of drafting this letter would be to send it to her and to the rest of council. So I guess that's what I can say is that I'm not aware that she's seen this letter. She probably has not. But I can't say that with absolute certainty. And again, if it's approved by the commission with or without changes, it would be sent to her at that point.
Got it. I was just thinking we might want the draft to be, not misrepresenting what happened. And it sounds like they might be the only person who might be able to speak to that. So I was just wondering. Thank you.
Okay, so Chris, is it okay if we can leave this letter in your hand to make the changes that City Manager Clifton put in the chat there? And do we have to go ahead and send it now to Councilwoman House to look at the draft, or Councilwoman Sweet? Because the thing is, I am there. I hear Commissioner Sanchez. We were not there. We don't want to speculate. This is hearsay. So I think we want the correct thing, the correct information to go out, because we're representing, a citizen, and we're also representing the city of Flagstaff, and you know So we want the correct information to go out there.
Certainly. It's the commission's prerogative what you want to do with this. So if you would like to hold off on taking a vote on approving it for another month to give Councilman Sweet a chance to look at it, you're welcome to do that. If you want to table the item, you can do that. Or if you want to move forward with edits right now, that's all up to the commission. So I can't give direction as to which of those you should or should not do. Those are just your prerogative for what decision to go with.
Well, I would like to go ahead and I'll actually ask for feedback too, but I would like to go ahead for this this draft to go to Councilwoman House and also Councilwoman Sweet, because we don't want to misrepresent, because we were not there, you know, and I would prefer the draft go for them to them first. Any other commissioners want to weigh in on that? Go ahead, Commissioner Tona.
I agree with you, Chair Kidd, that even though it's going to slow it down a little bit later, that it really needs to go to Councilperson House and Councilperson Sweet, and then be returned to us as an approved draft, and then we can go ahead and send it out. And I agree with you for all the reasons that you said. We are, representing an issue and the city and ourselves, and especially just trying to approach this with, balance. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your input, Commissioner Tona. All right, Chris. So yes, we will go ahead and pass the draft on.
Sounds good. I will make those changes, and then I will disseminate it to Councilwoman House and Councilman Sweet for their comments, and it will be on the agenda again next month.
Thank you so much. I know it's waiting long, but I prefer we wait and let the correct thing go out there, the correct communication, than we rush it and then have to do some public relations on it. And thank you so much, City Manager Clifton. We really appreciate you coming in and standing in and giving us this information. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Kidd. Thank you to the Commission for all the things that you do. We so greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, and don't be a stranger. You could join us, not only in instances like this. Please join us anytime.
I will do so. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, we'd like to move on to the next item on the agenda. I have Women's Rights Group.
Yes, this was an item, it was pushed from the last month. There isn't a whole lot more to add to this item from its point last month. It was just reviewing the minutes from it. The commission asked for it to be continued, and it was an action item, so it stays as an action item for that reason. So if the commission has thought about this more and wants to make a recommendation, we can do that. Or if you want to wait until we have 2 more members here, we can push it to next month as well.
I know that we had some interest in the last time we spoke about this. I know somebody was one of our commissioners was really interested in there to head up or to be part of the women's rights group. I can't remember which commissioner though. Was it? She's probably not here. Was it Commissioner Pino?
I can review the
I think
the
so.
minutes
I think
quickly.
it's
It may have
Commissioner
been.
Kino. Yeah.
I think that we had maybe talked about maybe coming up with a set of goals, or what will the women's rights group goals be, outcomes, like what is it that we want to do before voting on whether we wanted to create a working group or not.
Okay, we could just go ahead and wait then, because I think it's Commissioner Pino was the one. She was actually they were actually going ahead and wanted to start something there. So unless there's any commissioners here that would want to start that group.
Chairman Kidd, I'd be happy to send Commissioner Pino an email and have it for next month and let her know that we're looking for just a few bullet points of what its goals would be and that kind of thing to start our conversation. And if she's
Yes.
interested, she may be able to put those together for us and start the conversation.
Okay, good. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Number 9, reports, discussion items. So we have the Multicultural Park Sculpture Exhibition.
Hello, thanks for having me this afternoon. My name is Kristen Crujito, and I am the Beautification Arts and Sciences Project Administrator. And I'm here today to provide an update on this year's Multicultural County Park Sculpture Exhibition, and also to provide an update for the 2025-2026 exhibition. And may I share my screen with all of you? Or Chris, if
You
you're
should.
able to share my presentation, either one.
Yeah, I'll do whatever you like. I can share it, or you can do it.
Okay, let me,
right
I
now.
will, okay, let me do this. All right. And then I'm going to turn my camera off just because I don't want to experience any bandwidth issues when I'm presenting. Okay. And can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
wonderful. Let me just, okay. All right, let me move to the first slide. So updates. If you haven't been to the Elizabeth Liz C. Archuleta County Park, I encourage you to head over there as soon as you can to see the Multicultural County Park Sculpture Exhibition, which opened on May 17th. And it is on view through March 2025. There are 5 sculpture pads located along a path within the park that showcase large-scale 3D sculptures by incredible artists, both from Flagstaff, from the Navajo Reservation, and also from Phoenix. These are this year's featured artists. From left to right, we have Gideon Nyanongo, who is a very talented sculptor, originally from Zimbabwe. He now resides in the Valley. Lance Yazzie resides in Tuba City. He is of Dene heritage. And Anouk Ulritz, she is a local artist here in Flagstaff, and she led a team that also included a local welder by the name of Reggie Fitchett and another community artist, Meg Caboti. And finally, Oliverio Balcells on the far right, who is a noted public artist, and he resides in the Valley. So, as I stated previously, I'm here today to provide some updates on the current exhibition and also the 2025-2026 exhibition. So the call to artists is currently open for that. It opened May 29th and it closes very soon, next Tuesday, July 2nd at 5 p.m. I'm doing a final push this week with regard to outreach. And like last year, I have been presenting at both city and county councils and commissions, not only to provide project updates, but also to obtain interest and volunteers to serve on the upcoming selection panel for the 2025-2026 exhibition. This selection panel is comprised of representatives from the City of Flagstaff's Beautification and Public Art Commission, the Indigenous Commission, and the Commission on Diversity Awareness. And then from Coconino County, we have representatives from Parks and Recreation Commission, the Indigenous Peoples Advisory Council, Hispanic Advisory Council, and the African Diaspora Advisory Council. So the panel convenes to evaluate the merits of the artist's proposals that are received, as well as the artistic quality of past work. and an artist experience with site-specific public art projects. Panel recommendations were approved by the City of Flagstaff's Beautification and Public Art Commission last fall for the current exhibition, and will be approved at the August meeting for the forthcoming 2025-2026 exhibition. And I know all of you know about the project site. It is located at the Archuleta County Park. This site is full of history and was really central to the logging and lumber industry. Many communities have lived and worked in this area for more than 100 years. And today the park is enjoyed by residents and visitors of all ages and backgrounds for its recreational, environmental, and artistic offerings, many of which are provided by the Willow Bend Environmental Education Center, which is also on site. The sculptures on display this year, and we really hope in the years to come as well, will enrich the participatory nature of the park, and they serve as a very dynamic and engaging element that everyone can enjoy. So this project has always had a vision, and the exhibition this year really marks the culmination of a 2-year effort between the City of Flagstaff and Coconino County to bring the exhibition to fruition. It originally started as a recommendation, actually, from the Indigenous Circle of Flagstaff as a need for more visibility in the community, and then evolved to include a multicultural perspective. So once that occurred, the City of Flagstaff held a series of investigatory meetings to explore potential opportunities, and Coconino County Parks and Rec, they had initiated, a rotating art project at the park, but they really welcomed our invitation to expand the potential of the site. And now we have this incredibly beautiful and moving exhibition. The artwork on display, it really reflects the diverse cultural representation of our region, including Indigenous, Black, and Latinx art through a variety of ways. And each of the artists that were featured this year, and of course in the years to come, do this through a variety of ways. So their artwork might reflect deeply meaningful symbols. It could reflect cultural traditions, perhaps storytelling or connections to the landscape or the communities here in Flagstaff and across the Colorado Plateau. Our hope, and I think we've already established this with this year's exhibition, is that the park really becomes a destination for public art that will be enjoyed by both residents of and visitors to Flagstaff. And the image on the right is of Lance Yazzie, and this is his sculpture in this year's exhibition. Artists 18 years or older are eligible to apply. Also, art galleries and other lending art institutions can loan existing artwork. And artists are eligible, to submit up to 2 proposals. So even though this is a national call, I'm really making an effort again this year to focus locally and regionally with regard to artist recruitment. And we are encouraging artists in traditionally and historically underrepresented groups to also apply. So yes, we will, obtain proposals. I'm already getting proposals from artists nationwide. But again, the focus is really on the talent that's here in our community and across the Colorado Plateau and the Southwest. And this is an image of Oliverio Balcells in front of his sculpture entitled Bluebird. So a few key dates here. Again, the call to artists opened May 29th. It closes July 2nd. By August 2nd, there will be a selection panel review and scoring of proposals. The Beautification and Public Art Commission will approve selection panel recommendations, and BPAC normally approves selection panel recommendations, and they will do that at the August 12th meeting. Then we'll have a couple months to work on contracts. Those will be finalized by October 1st. So really, if artists are they might be loaning a piece that's already existing, but they might be creating a piece. So we want to give them ample time to do just that. And they'll have a solid 6 months where they can really focus on executing that piece before the exhibition is installed in the spring and the opening occurs, which is tentatively scheduled for mid-May. And then, of course, the deinstallation of artwork will occur in March 2026. So of note, the selection panel will take place in late July. And once again, I am here seeking a representative from the Commission on Diversity and Awareness. Last year, we had 2 representatives serve from CODA. Chair Kidd, thank you so much, and also Kim Robinson as well. This year, we are looking for 1 representative, and we'll have 1 representative from every council and commission from the city of Flagstaff, as well as Coconino County on this year's panel. And the selection panel is a one-time meeting, about 2 hours in length, where all the submissions will be reviewed and discussed and scored. And then the panel recommends 5 sculptures and 2 alternates. And again, this recommendation is subject to the approval of the Beautification and Public Art Commission. But that said, they normally follow the recommendation of the panel. And I think that's all I have. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and ask if there are any questions I can answer.
Thank you so much, Kristen, for this wonderful presentation. And I really did enjoy being a part of that panel. It was very exciting. You learn so much. So
You do.
yes, you really learn a lot of the backgrounds of the artists and also the piece, you know, and what inspired them. You learn a lot. So
Yes.
it was, yeah, it was really, really great. Now, so Commissioners, do you have any comments, or is there anybody here who would like to be part of the beautification, a part of, sorry, of the judging? Was it last year? Yes, the judging coming up. I was already there, so I want to open up the floor for any commissioners who would like to step forward. Ah, I see Commissioner Sanchez.
I
Yeah.
would absolutely love to participate if you'd have me.
Absolutely. That would be wonderful. And am I able to, or Chair Kidd, may I reach out to you for Angelica? Is it Angelica or Angelica?
It's Angelica. Thank you for asking.
Okay, Angelica. Angelica's email address.
So, and Commissioner Sanchez, you can go ahead and share that with
Thank you.
Kristen, yeah, in the
Will
chat.
do. I'll
Yeah.
send you an email right now so you have.
Okay, wonderful. And I am this week and next week, I am just firming up the selection panel, just FYI, firming up the selection panel to get a few dates on the books for the end of July. And it's usually a late afternoon, early evening meeting, but definitely we'll meet before August 2nd. But you'll hear from me this week, and thank you so much for volunteering. I look forward to working with you.
Great. And Kristen, too, and any communications that you would send, if you could also send it to Chris too. So Chris will definitely have that information too and on record. Yes.
Okay. Excellent. And then Angelica, I don't see, let me see. I'm going to give you my email address quickly. One moment. So you have that as well. And then if you can just email me, I don't see your email. My chat is very slow. I don't see your email address coming through, but if you email me, I will we'll go from there.
Wonderful.
All right.
Anybody else in the commission, or I'm opening up the floor for everybody else. If you have any comments or any feedback for Kristen, please go ahead and do so now. Thank you. I see we have Dr. Mallet. Is that Dr. Mallet? I'm just seeing pieces of names. Welcome, Dr. Mallet. I haven't seen you in a while. Sorry for putting you on the spot. And we have Ray Garcia here too. Wow. So nice to see everyone.
No, most definitely. Glad to be back joining. Had the last couple of months with high school graduation and actually moving family to Flagstaff. So happy to be back now.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Well, if any of you have any questions, feel free to contact me, and we'll go from there. Otherwise, I will keep you posted, and I will send you invitations for next year's exhibition opening. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Wonderful. Thank you for what you do for our community.
Thank you. Likewise. Talk to you soon. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, Chris, do you mind sharing the agenda again for me, please? Because I feel the one that I have, it's not the correct one. Oh, you're on mute?
My apologies. Yes, I'm pulling it up right now. And yeah,
Thank
here we
you.
are.
All right, so the second item, 9B, is the Rainbow Sidewalk Initiative. And Chris, you said you had a response for us?
Yes, I'll be doing this item here. I reached out to some other members of our staff to gain some knowledge about exactly how we got to this, and I learned a bit that I want to share with you here. I did include a copy of a manual that was sent to me by Jeff Bauman, our city traffic engineer, and then he and I had a conversation about why this original rainbow sidewalk idea was not approved to go forward. And essentially what it came down to is that at least from his perspective, conversations that he had with our city attorney's office indicated that our adopted manual on uniform traffic control devices, which is a long document that essentially says how to mark lanes of traffic, how you display street lights, all the stuff that you need on roadways, they determined that multicolored sidewalks would not be compliant with that document. Now, he acknowledged that other communities do have these documents, or not these documents, these kinds of sidewalks, and kind of said that every community can make its own decisions on how they interpret those areas, but that the city of Flagstaff felt that keeping traditional white crosswalks would be safer, and he didn't mean to, and he used his language very deliberately there, that didn't want to insinuate that a rainbow crosswalk would be unsafe, but but their determination was that it wouldn't be as safe as maintaining the white traditional stripes. And he did also want to give an opportunity, present an alternative idea, saying that if there was an opportunity to use some kind of art installation or some other kind of colored pattern like this somewhere that's not on a roadway, so in a park or a sidewalk, that they'd be more than willing to look at that. But as far as putting it as a crosswalk across moving lanes of traffic, he kind of reiterated that they're not really willing to entertain that. So that's the gist of it. And again, he shared a memo on that topic that was from, I believe, the Department of Transportation, that I included in the agenda packet and sent to all of you. So I'm not sure if you had a chance to read it or take a look at it, but that's one of the documents, at least, that he was looking at when they made this decision.
Thank you so much, Chris. And I think the last time when your predecessor was here, Lisa, she did went ahead and read part of the document for us. It's very lengthy. And so thank you so much for adding that to our board packet. Go ahead, Commissioner Tona.
Unmute. Appreciate the work that you did on that, Chris. I also read the manual, and I also attended the manual has actually been updated, and right now it's in the review stage for the adoption of the updated manual in 2024. They are not making significant changes to this particular area of the regulation or the suggested regulation, but in attending the review and comment section, one of the things that was conducted by the federal agency, one of the things that they made a point of is that ultimately these are not binding. They're if a city decides to override these particular regulations or suggested regulations, they are free to do so. And of course, that's been done all over the country. I believe that Alicia Henry provided us with several documents having to do with other municipalities, including Phoenix, and their rationale from their legal department why it was okay to do this. And they have done that, and these are permanent rainbow walkways, they're not temporary. So it was real clear in that meeting. They specifically brought up rainbow walkways because that has been an issue of contention with this particular manual. And again, my understanding of the comments from the federal representatives was cities are free to adopt their own compliance. So basically, the reason Tucson, Phoenix, and maybe some other cities, and certainly cities across the nation do have rainbow walkways is they're not just their councils or their governing bodies, but also their legal departments and their engineering departments have come to a plan that assures safety and also allows for the particular rainbow designs that they're using. So I just wanted to throw that in there. I'll try to find those documents that Alicia Henry provided us with a couple of months ago. I'm sure I've got them someplace, and provide them to Chris again for distribution to the commission. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Tona. I think I have a copy of those documents too that Alicia had sent to us. So if you can find it, I can go ahead and send it over to Chris also. Great. So Chris, if we can go ahead and leave this item on the agenda for next time too, so we can continue our conversations.
Okay, thank you. And that conversation will just be surrounding these documents that will be shared from Commissioner Toner?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Go ahead, Commissioner Tona.
Well, also, I would like, I've got notes on that federal comment session that I attended. There was like thousands of people there. It was a national commentary or comments Zoom meeting. And I'll try to find all those notes and I'll also forward those.
Thank you, Commissioner Tona. All right, 9C, the discussion and updates from the working groups.
This is a new recurring item we added to the agenda going forward, so that all working groups don't have to be agendized individually, as some of them will have things to report, some will not. So this would be an opportunity for if you've been working on a project that pertains to this commission, and anything that you want to share has happened since our last meeting, now is an open time for you to be able to do so.
Awesome. This is Commissioner Sanchez. I'd love to report out on the library working group. We had a fantastic time at Pride. Commissioner Toner and I tabled with the library. And so we were able to pass out flyers about our oral history project and, have some visibility. We had a chance to regroup and come up with some recommendations for how we'd like to approach it next year, which was really, really great for us. We also submitted another grant application. We've got another member on the library team who is going to be joining us. I know we're missing a few folks today, but wanted to once again just put that call out there in case anybody is interested in participating. We could definitely use a few more members for all of the work that we're doing over there. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions or email me if you'd like to participate.
Thank you, Commissioner Sanchez. Any other working group update? Okay, hearing none. We can move to 9D, updates from council liaison. Well, our council liaison is not here today, so can we go ahead and skip that? Or is City Manager Clifton, are you going to weigh in?
Thank you, Chair Kidd. I was not prepared to weigh in on behalf of Councilmember House, but I am taking good mental notes here and will share with her the outcomes of today's meeting. So thank you.
Wonderful, thank you so much. Chris, did you have anything from Councilwoman House?
Not from Councilman House, no.
Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and move to 9E, updates from staff liaison. Go ahead, Chris. Thank you.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Chairman Kidd. My update here will mostly be about our current vacancy on the commission and about the terms expiring in a few months. So right now we have 6 members of this commission with Commissioner Jarvis now off the commission, and we will have 2 more seats expiring on September 1st. And I want to pull up those just so you know who you are. Let's see. Is it right here? Yes, our updated one. Just so we can all review and remember where we all stand. Commissioner Jang was appointed last year. His term will expire in 2026. Chairman Kidd, your term will expire next year in 2025. Commissioner Gebler, yours will also expire next year in 2025. And Commissioner Sanchez, yours will expire in 2026. This year, Commissioner Toner and Commissioner Pino will both have their terms expire on September 1st. So at that time, if we have not filled the existing vacancy, we will have 3 vacancies. If you would like to reapply, you're welcome to do so. Your application will go to City Council and they will have the discretion of making that appointment. So it is not our commission that makes the appointment. It's the council that is responsible for that. I also wanted to note that we currently have 5 applicants who have submitted for this position. 2 of them were in June of last year. I've checked with our city clerk, and those applications are usually good for a year. But if we have the application on file, I'll be reaching out to those individuals just to make sure that they are still interested. And if they're able to confirm they are still interested, we'll be able to continue considering their existing application. They won't have to resubmit everything once again. So in order for this to go in front of council, it has to be placed on an agenda. And I'll note that council is about to take their summer break. So it is not likely that we will fill any of these vacancies. Matter of fact, it will not happen. That we will not fill one of these vacancies until after they return from their break. The earliest that could be is in August. So at that time, we're going to look to fill probably 3 vacancies, probably at the same time. That way, they're all done together. And Commissioner Toner, and I'll notify Commissioner Pino when I speak to her next, that if you would like to reapply, you can. I believe the rule is you cannot serve more than 2 consecutive terms. My records show that Commissioner Toner was first appointed in 2019. And that Commissioner Pino was originally confirmed in 2021. So, Commissioner Toner, I'm not sure if you're interested in serving their term or not, but it looks, because it also happened in February of 2019. I'm guessing that you were filling a vacancy to fill out the remainder of a term, and I believe that you'd be entitled to 1 more full term if you would like to, but you're not. You don't have to make it a declaration here and now in front of everybody or anything like that. But I just wanted to let you know what our interpretation is, and I see your hand is up.
Yeah, actually, this I am terming out because this is my 7th year, and it's a term. Yeah, so I'm definitely, so the August meeting will be my last meeting. And boy, what a privilege it's been to serve.
Okay. Thank you so much for your service, then, Commissioner Toner. We'll certainly miss you. Hopefully we'll continue to hear from you in the future, and we do have a few more meetings before then to grab any business that that you want to be involved in or continue on after your term is done. In any case, I did confirm that those 5 applicants will be enough to fill those 3 vacancies. We do usually have a rule where we want twice as many applicants as there are positions available, but because it's not 3 positions, it's 1 position, then 2 positions, the math actually works out that as long as those 5 people are interested, then we'll be able to continue. And really, even if we, well, I suppose that we would need 5 because we'll lose an applicant if 1 is confirmed. We will be sending out a notice as well over the summer to let anyone else know that we're seeking applicants for these vacancies, just to see if we get a larger pool. As I mentioned, it's not this commission's decision on who will get appointed. However, if the commission has thoughts, you're welcome to relay them to me, and I can pass them along to or to our council liaison, Councilman House. I don't know that it's her a decision either. They have a rotation that they go through. I can't tell you who will be the person that chooses the nominees here, but if there are opinions, I'm happy to pass those along. Maybe we can agendize that later on. And if you want to make a recommendation, you can, or if you want to avoid making a recommendation to not have your foot in that door, we can go that way as well. But just wanted to let you know how that process will play out. So we'll roll with 6 members for the next few meetings, and then hopefully in September we'll have a few new faces here in our group. And another note here is that if we find ourselves in a situation where an appointment is not made before September 1st, Commissioner Toner and Commissioner Pino are able to continue serving in the temporary until we get that additional person or individuals added to the commission. Our hope is that we can be quick with this, especially with this much notice, to make sure that it's on an agenda ahead of time, but wanted to let you all know the rules for how that will occur.
Thank you so much, Chris, on that part. And for those members of the public who are invited and the guests that we have here today, do you mind just going ahead, just telling us how do we get to the website and how we can recommend for persons to apply to be on CODA?
Yes, let me take a look here. We have a website that has an application on it.
Thank you.
For you here. I'm happy to send that out as well. I'm sorry, I didn't have that open in my browser. I probably should have, but I'll pull it up here so you can see it on the screen as well. Here's a copy of the application. It's a fairly straightforward application. You enter the commission you want to serve on. If applicable, there's a couple of our commissions that have requirements that people have a certain professional certification or live in a certain area. I don't believe any of those apply to this commission. So I just wanted to clarify what that line is not necessary here. We'll need your address, some information about your employer, some demographic information about you. And then there's a few sections where you'll be able to answer a couple questions, kind of the essay portion, if you will. So we know why you want to be on the commission and what you're going to bring to the table. And I'll note that City Council does look at these, and they do tend to look at these with to make sure that they're professional and well thought out and everything. So we encourage our applicants to do a good job on this and not just write a sentence or two, but to really put their thought in and put some content here that gives the City Council members an idea of your professionalism and what you would bring to the table. I see that you put a link in the chat there. From that webpage, if you go back one page, there's one on the overall boards and commissions page has a link to the vacancies, and it has a list of every vacancy that the city has across every commission, and it has the link to the application on it. So that's what here. I'll move my screen over to show you this one, so you can see what this looks like. So it looks like this boards and commissions vacancies, and then it shows, you can see we have quite a few vacancies at the moment through all different areas of the city. This is where we solicit them, and then right at the top are the applications. So it's fairly straightforward, but it is a formal process that City Council likes to take seriously, and they look for professionalism and all those kind of things as well.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Chris.
Yep. That's all I have for my update.
Okay. And agenda again, please.
Yes, I'm sorry. Let me pull that up for you right here. There we go.
All right. Thank you. And so the agenda for the future meetings. So for the next meeting,
we don't have to go through the entire agenda.
You don't have to go down. Yeah.
This is an opportunity for any member to essentially come forward and give any items that they would like to see in any future agendas. All the ones that we went through and mentioned today, those will be carried over automatically. But if there are ones that were not discussed that you want to talk about, any new items, this is a chance to bring those forward.
Great, thank you. All right, so with nothing else to discuss, it is 2:54 p.m. I would like to call an adjournment for this meeting. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a wonderful evening. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You would need to take a motion on the adjournment there, and then.
Oh, okay.
Just want to make sure that no one had any future.
Oh, any other questions? Okay. Any other questions from anyone before we adjourn? Okay, hearing none. I'd go ahead and there's a motion to adjourn this meeting today.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any against or abstain? Well, thank you so much. Let's adjourn this meeting at 2:55 p.m. at 6/26/2024. Thank you so much, everyone, and see you next time. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.